Hi, I'm Mitch Gallagher from Sweetwater. Today, let's take a look at next-level digital mixers. Now, we all know that digital mixers are super common, super popular today. They're used by bands, they're used by venues, clubs, touring acts. Pretty much anywhere you go where there's audio, you may be seeing a digital mixer. And all those digital mixers, things like the Behringer X32, the Studio Live series from PreSonus, and so on, tremendously powerful and so capable, they sound fantastic. But what can happen is, as you get into larger venues, medium-sized and large venues, larger tours, larger installations, large networked systems, you start to need a little bit more than maybe some of those other digital mixers can provide, and that's where the mixers we're talking about today come in. So with the next level digital mixer, what you get is basically more channels, more input possibilities, more processing power, higher quality audio, higher quality processing, tons of features that you can use for those larger venues and larger events. So let's take a look at 4 fantastic next level digital mixers that may be exactly right for your application. Let's begin with a brand new mixer, the Tascam Sonic View 16. Now, some of you may say, a digital mixer from Tascam, don't they make portable recorders and so on? Well, that's true, but their long legacy of pro audio equipment includes many fantastic high-end digital mixers. And now they brought all that technology to bear with the new Sonic View 16 and its larger sibling, the Sonic View 24. I've spent about a week with the Sonic View 16, and what really impresses me about it is how easy it is to use and how well thought out the user interface is. We've got dual 7-inch touchscreens here on the front panel, and they can be operated in 3 modes, which makes it very easy to get exactly the information you need. So we have sort of an overview mode where you can see 8 channels in each display. We can also select a channel and see its parameters arrayed across both the screens. Now, those are touch screens, so we can reach in, grab the parameters here, but of course we also have physical controls here below the screens, and those are color-coded to match what's happening on the screen. Again, super intuitive and easy to use. We have a total of 44 channels available in the Sonic View, and we have 16 local or basically onboard inputs here. And those feature Tascam's HDIA or high definition instrument architecture preamps. Now, these preamps are truly studio grade. The specs are fantastic, the performance is fantastic, and they have up to 32 dB of headroom. We have 22 output buses and 16 channel faders as well as a master fader and 4 built-in digital effects processors. There are 2 ways to do multi-track recording with the Sonic View, either via USB or SD card, and that gives you 32 inputs and 32 outputs. We also have slots on the front panel for a USB flash drive and for an SD card. The Sonic View 16 is super easy to network. It features dual redundant Dante connections for 64 input and output. Another ease of use function that's so powerful is that we have 12 assignable user keys here, as well as an additional 6 user keys at the top of the panel. All of this is driven by an FPGA processor, which gives us tremendous processing power. The console operates at 96 kilohertz with 54-bit floating point resolution. We've got 32-bit resolution on the analog to digital conversion as well. Fantastic sound quality with the Sonic View. One of the really amazing specs with this console is that it has ultra-low latency, as low as half a millisecond analog to analog. You can take charge of things remotely using the Options Sonic View control software. And we also have dual onboard expansion ports for adding a variety of I/O and other options. Finally, for the ultimate in portability, there's an optional rack mount kit for the Sonic View 16. As I mentioned, the Sonic View 16 also has a larger sibling, the Sonic View 24. That gives you 8 additional faders, an additional touchscreen for a total of 3, as well as more physical I/O. Next up, we have the Allen & Heath Avantis. Now, this is a really high-tech looking console. It's a lot of fun to operate because it features dual 15.6-inch touchscreens. These screens are massive, and they show you so much, and they make all the parameters so instantly accessible at just the touch of a fingertip. Using the section at the lower left, we also can select additional options for instant access. Pre-fade listen, we have different options here, we have I/O, you can see those are right across the bottom, and if we change over to the next screen, we also get our stereo meters here along with a mono output meter for feeding your subwoofer, for example, or a center channel. All this gives you total control over the mix bus architecture and all of the routing, again, just instantly accessible on those huge screens. It also features the continuity UI or user interface that provides an easy way to maneuver around the console. We've got 64 channels, 12 XLR inputs, and 12 XLR outputs as far as the local I/O goes. And of course, tons and tons of additional I/Os available through stage boxes, expansion cards, and so on. We've got a massive 42 buses, 24 faders, 16 DCAs, and 8 mute groups. The built-in virtual effects give us 12 rack extra effects with dedicated returns. We've got 24 assignable soft keys, and as I mentioned, we have tons of I/O capability. Just one example, you can get up to 128 in and 128 out using Dante with the expansion slots. Other options include Giga Ace, MADI, and Wave Sound Grid. We've got word clock I/O for synchronizing the Avantis with the rest of your network, dual USB ports, and dual expansion slots. But what really stands out to me with the Avantis is just how user-friendly it is. I mean, I know I've talked about that a lot in this video, but it's just so true. You stand in front of it, and if you're familiar with consoles, you're going to feel right at home. Next up, let's take a look at the QL1 from Yamaha. Now, I don't have one of those mixers physically here with me today, but there are so many features that we need to talk about. The QL1 is based around the core features or the core capabilities of the CL series mixers from Yamaha, very highly regarded mixers. We've got a huge touchscreen as well as the channel select user interface that makes it so easy to operate the mixer. There are 32 mono channels and 8 stereo channels with 16 physical inputs and 16 physical outputs on the console itself. We have 16 DCA groups, 8 mute groups, and 8 matrix groups. There's 16 channel auto mixing built into the QL1, which makes it great for corporate events or for large panel discussions. We also really need to call out the processing power that's built into the QL1. Now, this was developed with Rupert Neve Designs and features virtual analog emulation. So you're really getting the sound of classic studio processing right inside the QL1. One of the things I really want to call out is the virtual circuit modeling that's in the QL1. Now, this was developed with Rupert Neve Designs and brings a real true vintage analog emulation to the EQ and dynamics processors. We've got 12 user assignable keys and so many additional features that make the QL1 ideal for integrating into a larger system. The QL1 also has very powerful advanced Dante support built in. Two interesting features. One is the port-to-port feature that allows the I/O on the console itself to serve as I/O for the network at large. There's also automatic gain compensation. What this does is allow you to turn up the gain on an input on the console, and yet it manages the output gain so the gain stays consistent throughout the network. We have 2 mini YG-DAI expansion slots, and there are more than 30 different types of expansion modules that you can put into those slots to expand the capability of the QL1. There are so many additional features that we could talk about with the QL1. You can interconnect multiple units together to get a massive amount of inputs and outputs. And you can also cascade the QL1 with other Yamaha digital mixers for larger systems. Of course, we have built-in recording with 2-track recording to a USB flash drive and up to 32 inputs and 32 outputs for multi-track recording to your DAW using Dante. You can take remote control using your tablet in the QL Stage Mix app, and the QL Editor software for your computer allows you to set up the console remotely. Finally, because of its form factor, the QL1 can be rack mounted using the optional rack mount kit. Last but not least, let's check out the Digico S31. This is a super streamlined console. You can see that it lays out so clean as far as the controls go. We've got 3 touchscreens that give us instant access to all of the parameters for all the channels and all the functions of the console. The engine of the S31 is super impressive and super powerful. We've got an ARM quad-core RISC processor, FPGA mixing, as well as a Shark DSP processor on board. All of that power gives us tons of capability within the S31. We've got 48 flexi inputs. Now, these can be either mono or stereo without reducing the channel count. We also have 24 mic line inputs built in, as well as 12 outputs. 16 flexi buses also give us mono or stereo buses without changing the bus count. The powerful engine of the S31 gives us 21 dynamic EQs. We've got 8 digital effects processors built in, 16 assignable graphic EQs, as well as 8 Digitube drivers for adding harmonic content to our signals. For outstanding sound quality, the S31 features 24-bit 96 kHz resolution, and we also have 48 input and 48 output multi-track recording via USB. You can expand the S31 with dual DMI expansion slots, and this covers a variety of formats including Dante, MADI, SoundGrid, and Hydra 2, as well as analog I/O. You can take wireless control over the S31 using the S-Series app and your iPad. The S31 is truly built for the rigors of the road with an aerospace-grade aluminum extrusion and a rugged polycarbonate overlay. I keep coming back to just how clean the user interface is on the S31. Of course, you can access everything you need on the touchscreens, but the controls are so logically laid out that it's very comfortable, very intuitive to operate this console. I hope you've enjoyed this look at 4 next-level digital consoles. If your application has exceeded your current digital console, or you know you'll be going into a medium or large venue, a larger tour situation, a larger corporate situation, or you're building a larger network, these consoles are definitely ones you're going to want to take a look at. So many features, so much power, so flexible and versatile as far as I/O goes, tons of onboard processing. They really do take digital mixing to the next level. For more information on each of these consoles, visit their product pages at sweetwater.com, and of course you'll find tons of other digital mixers there as well. And then contact your Sweetwater sales engineer. They've got full information on digital consoles and can help you choose the perfect one for your application. I'm Mitch Gallagher from Sweetwater.